Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first episode of Morrowind Hardcore, which is going to be one life, no reloading, the typical type of hardcore playthrough, but I'm going to do a little bit of an Iron Man as well, as into I'm going to restrict some of the things that we're able to do and buy in-game. And this is going to be a modded playthrough. The mods should be down, most of them down in the description. And this load order is based on a graphics extender mod pack, if that makes sense. And not all of them will be compatible with Open Morrowind, as the bulk or some of the bangers in this one that require the graphics extender rather than OpenMW, which is still a good engine. But we will see as far that we can take one character, and mostly going to be doing mainland stuff, I'm guessing. We do have some Tamriel Rebuilt stuff in there as well. I don't know that I'll be just heading there, definitely not in the beginning. And we also have Morrowind Rebirth, which makes the mainland harder anyways, so we'll see what we get to. I do have some other stuff, and well, there's essentially the Joy of Painting and Ultimate Fishing and Ashfall are the three big focus mods that we're going to be focusing on, other than Tamriel Rebuilt and Morrowind Rebirth. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start a new game, although I do need to do one thing. Make sure we're not going to start with any spells or gear this time. And we'll listen to the cutscene.
They have taken you from the Imperial city's prison, first by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up. Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name?
And my name is going to be, for this playthrough, Kain.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we've reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go. Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
Alright.
You better do what they say.
It's a mess down here. A little bit of a hiccup.
Get yourself up on deck and let's keep this as civil as possible.
Well, alright. Anything to say?
The sooner you leave, the sooner we can move on.
That's kind of rude.
Yes, confused? We're all waiting.
You know what? Put your bread on the floor.
This is where they want you. Head down to the dock and I'll show you to the census office.
Alright, to the docks we go.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where.
Alright, and we're going to be an orc. Skip it. Okay. Be a shaved orc, a couple of earrings.
Ever thought of joining the Legion? Plenty of your kind up at Fort Darius, and we'll take the help wherever we can get it. Now follow me up to the office, and we'll finish your release.
Alrighty.
Head on in.
Okay. I wouldn't have known, to go in unless you said that.
Ah, yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
Alright, so we'll be doing a custom class, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. We're going to do combat, strength, endurance. We're going to keep all of this, but we're going to move it around a little bit. Other than these last two, I want light armor and short blade, and then we're going to put axe on this side and spear on this side. Okay, so Kain here is an orc, obviously, as you saw, and also an exile of a stronghold. Unfortunately, in these orcish strongholds, which are primarily around Skyrim and High Rock and Hammerfell, it sounds like, there is, there's a lot of strongholds around there with orcs, and prior to the 4th era, I'm guessing there also were, so we're just saying that, that they're not a specific stronghold, but a stronghold nonetheless, orcish, tribal in nature, as most of them are, was founded, and this is where Kain lived for, up until now, or until a little bit ago, rather, and he was actually exiled because he stole something from another orc in the stronghold, and that's a very, very no-no kind of thing to do in that society. Normally, you would be bled until the victim is satisfied, but I believe in this situation where it was against another orc in the stronghold, they pretty much had decided, well, you were kicked out because you stole, and that's against one of our main things. And if you can't tell, my Elder Scrolls lore is a little lacking when it comes to this, but I did try to make a character's background that makes sense for where our skills are at and where we've been. And now, obviously in that cutscene we were taken from prison, but how did we get in prison? Well, it's kind of a long story, which is we are from a stronghold that we were kicked out of for stealing something from another orc, which is, very punishable. So we were exiled, and they basically said, we're not going to kill you, but you cannot live here anymore. Go and be in exile, and you will carry that title, as we will, tell all the other strongholds that you are not a part of our tribe anymore. And so he had to move out. This was probably around the age of 20, 21. A young adult, but didn't know much. Went out on his own and made more bad decisions. Decided, tried to have a go himself and make an honest way of living, but fell back into, unfortunately more thievery, and it got him in prison and disgusted him and completely changed his way of thinking, and now he will never steal a thing. So that's one of the first restrictions of this playthrough, is that there's going to be no stealing that we should be doing. There are a few quests, or a quest that I can think of specifically, that technically you're going to think is stealing. I don't think the game marks it as stealing, of like the red icon of what I can see of owned, but in the story of the quest, it's owned items and owned gold that we'll be taking. But we will be completing that for a specific reason, and that also is I'm not going to be using restoration skill in any way. Our healing will be through resting and bandaging and alchemy, through making potions and that sort of it. That's the only way that we can heal. We can never use a restoration magic, to heal at all. So that's completely cut off from us, and we can just say that that Kain has an actual. It wouldn't be a disrespect, because Kain is actually, as you will find out, always been interested in magic, but never had the time, or never really pursued that while being in the stronghold, because with orcs it's really one thing, and that is strength and endurance and battle and different types of weapons and being the strongest, and they're pretty good at that. That's why all of their bonuses are, their racial bonuses are, for most of the games, are warrior, like even down to their power that they can use the berserk. So not a lot of them are mages or thieves, for that matter, or very good at it. And Kain definitely wasn't either, because he just got caught, got sent to the Imperial prison, and this is where the story kind of takes off. Is all of a sudden we were whisked from prison and taken to Morrowind, and we have no idea why. We've just arrived on a boat, and they're saying go here, go there, and we're kind of disoriented. That's why we're like, okay. And so that's kind of our backstory. We don't know why we're being sent here, but we have changed completely as far as being a thief. We had a couple of really bad ways, and now we won't. We have an actual disgust for thievery. But we've been interested in magic and never been able to pursue any type of those things, or even just like passive hobbies, or even survival type things. It's always just been stick with the tribe and be a warrior and grab your weapons and sharpen your weapons and make sure you're ready for battle. And the second we went out, both times we fell on our face through thieving, and ended up in prison, probably for a couple of years. So we can say we're probably 23, 24, Kain is at this point. And finally able to kind of get out and possibly change our ways and maybe see the world, or at least Morrowind, because we were sent here and it seems like we don't have shackles on at this point. So alright, so this is going to be our class, which is why the name is Stronghold Exile. Sorry, that took a while to explain, but I kind of had that all in my head up until this point. And that is why, all of these skills are really very warrior-esque. I'm not going to bother with the description. Normally I usually type in something that's kind of for myself, but I kind of just explained everything in the video, so I'm going to go ahead and move on.
Very good. The letter that preceded, you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
Okay, and we do have rebirth, birth signs, which have kind of changed all of the birth signs, or the original Morrowind birth signs, if you know what those are. So, the warrior, attack and strength, 10 points. The tower, open 75 points on touch. I'm going to really quick, I'm probably not going to read all these, but I am going to click through them just so you can see, if anyone is curious, how rebirth changes them, because I feel like it makes it a little bit harder, as rebirth tends to do, but also kind of changes up the game, which is good. So, the thief, Steed. Shadow. That one I actually thought about for quite a bit, because the invisibility for 30 seconds for a hardcore playthrough is almost necessary. We're not going to do it for this one, but that may be, if we're having trouble in the future progressing, like running into higher level enemies and really needing a way to get away, because in the Morrowind engine it seems like when there's a really high level enemy and you aggro them, there's almost no way to get out of it without invisibility. But we can also use potions for that, so we're going to have to be super careful, but not for right now, maybe in the future. And we've got the Serpent. Good for poison. The Ritual, a nice heal. Mage is something I did think about. Orcs are not good at that, but it doesn't really make sense for the character. I mean, I guess it would if I wanted to spin it that way, you know, because he has been inquisitive about magic, just not restoration magic. It's just one of the little quirks that we're gonna have. So the mage just didn't feel as right. Then we've got the Lover, the Lord, the Lady, the Atronach, and the Apprentice, 1.5 times. But which one are we going to be using? It's going to be the Lady. So normally I think it's 20 points per, so they bumped it down to 10, but personality and endurance are really good for what we're going to need. They're just really good starts. And having a charm touch once per day is just really nice. This is what we're going to start with for this character, or this is what we're going to have for this character, rather. So.
Interesting. Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct.
Yes, I do need to make sure. Okay, Kain, Orc, born under the sign of the Lady. 219. So yeah, we start 55 strength, 70 endurance, pretty good. 30 speed, 30 intelligence, 39 agility, not great. But 45 in block armor and heavy armor, so that's really good because long term, you know, when we need to kill something with an axe or a spear, we're going to be able to do that in heavy armor pretty reliably when we need to do that. It's not like Kain doesn't want to wear those. He definitely knows how to do that the most. You can see with the skills. As we move into minor skills, it's still, you know, all warrior skills and no running. We only get a bonus to athletics because of the combat specialization. Everything else is at 5. So that's going to be fun, but also super grindy, and this would be a good, kind of a good point to mention this, because this Let's Play / hardcore playthrough is going to be very slow and careful, and if you're not into that and not into grinding numbers and see it, and if you know anything about, you know, Morrowind and how it's going to work, I am going to work a lot on some of these level 5 skills, so there's going to be some grinding, so I'm just warning you ahead of time if that's not your thing, you know. So anyways, moving on, we do have other skills: bushcrafting, fishing, painting, performance, and survival, all fairly low. Honestly, I wish this fishing started a little lower, but it is feasible that we've done a little bit of that type of stuff. Maybe not painting as much or performance, but you know, since those are always things, the other types of things, the hobbies, the magic, you know, hand-to-hand combat are always things that Kain has been interested in. He's just never really had a reason or time to pursue those type of things, so that's why we're so low level in everything. And it's going to be fun for me to bring them all the way up. Now, to level up, obviously, we're still going to have to do this, but there's still a number of things that we're going to get. For instance, short blade, block armor, axe, and heavy armor will probably still level fairly regularly. If we mix, you know, other stuff in that, it might be light armor and medium armor. Probably blunt won't level very much, unless we needed something specifically for that. Obviously, to increase our level from 1 onwards, we're going to have to level, you know, these skills as well as our miscellaneous. So, but it's going to be a lot of focus on almost like other skills here, you know, mercantile, speechcraft, which I've got a pretty cool couple of mods that pair together to work really interestingly. But anyways, we'll move on from this. So we do have abilities. I don't want you to think we have all this extra stuff. We have what we normally have, which is our orc racial, our birth sign bonuses, and then what that is part of the survival mod of Ashfall, of being rested and hydrated, which will go down over time, and we'll have to manage them. We have our normal powers of Warcry, Bloodlust, and the Lady's Kiss from that, and no spells, and I did turn those off, so we will be starting with, you know, the normal amount of gold, no armor, no spells, and we'll have to work our way up, so. Alright. You now have a stats.
Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
Kain. Stronghold Exile. On the 16th of Last Seed, the 3rd Era, 426. Alright, and with Rebirth, in case anyone was curious, the no limeware platter here, and I won't be stealing anything, as I have said. You know, he's just... Kain is not about it. Go ahead and reorganize this here. So this little box here that I am adjusting is called message box, message logger. Yeah, that's what it is, message logger, and it logs your messages. So I would like to steal these books, to be totally honest, or all of these books, and like pause the menu and ooh, those and those scrolls. But we don't want to be, you know, we want to stick in character to what we're gonna do. And plus, we just got here and got released from prison, so hopefully we will not fall back into our old ways. And I do not plan on it, so we will not be reloading. You know, we'll deal with consequences until we die or, you know, beat the game. So. And most likely die. So you can't take any of this. And you got some water in there and that.
Continue through to the next building and talk to Celes Gravius.
Alright. Evidence. What kind of evidence you got in there, bro?
Go ahead, stranger.
Oh, I don't have anything to say to you, sorry. And you'll see everything here, like they're like, go ahead and pick up the dagger, but my character wouldn't, because all this stuff is owned, which makes sense, you know, they're not just gonna leave all this stuff in here and be like, oh, have at it on your way out of here. No, the Imperials don't care about us. For the most part. There's some water in there, I'd love to steal that. Ugh. Should we read the book, though? I do have a mod that does audiobooks of Morrowind, I think it's called. But I believe these are just the birth signs, so I don't feel like it's necessary. And yeah, I wish I could steal this, but we won't. We won't be doing any of that. This is just a little note on Morrowind Rebirth, I believe, places this here to tell you about things that have changed and how difficult things are, really. I'm not going to go through each of them, but I will leave it here for a second for you to pause the video and read it in case you would like. Here's the last part. Alright. Oh my gosh, we're almost out of the tutorial. What is this? Note from Celes Gravius. Here's a list of the prisoners arriving later today. Please make sure they're processed quickly and without incident. Who's that? I have no idea. Is he on a different boat? Who is that? That's what kind of doesn't make sense. Termanin, Altmer, female. Where is she? We did see Jeeb. Done Mermail, he was in there. Mr. Red Eyes. False Evitus. Imperial. They're processing one of their own people. Well. It's kind of surprising. No one owns these because they're just nature's bounty. Well, now they're my bounty. You know, I have a map. Well, yeah, we can see it up in my little cursor there too, or my widget mod. It's also a good time to show. So this is the mainland here, obviously, as most people know. And then we've got, you know, Tamriel Rebuilt. It's all of this. And we've got some other goodies somewhere on here. So, lots to do. Lots to do. Alright. So this isn't marked. Oh, nice. We literally got screwed on extra loot. Whatever. That's a real rags to riches way to start. Because this is not so empty. This is owned. Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. Moving on. We talk to the captain. Whoa. Sorry, I had to get really close to you. Hey, buddy.
Your papers, please.
Yes. Of course.
First, let me take your identification papers. Thank you. Word of your arrival only reached me yesterday. I am Celis Gravius. But my background is not important. I'm here to welcome you to Morrowind.
Your background, you say? Well, that's not important. Morrowind, right? Is that where we are?
Yes, you're in Morrowind. I don't know why you're here or why you were released from prison and shipped here, but your authorization comes directly from Emperor Uriel Septim VII himself. And I don't need to know any more than that. When you leave this office, you are a free man. But before you go, I have instructions on your duties. Instructions from the Emperor. So pay careful attention.
I will pay as much attention as I can muster. You mentioned Uriel Septim. Is he still the Emperor?
Yes, Uriel Septim is still the Emperor.
Huh.
According to my instructions, he personally authorized your release from prison and your delivery here. It's all very mysterious, but that's the way the Empire works. Silence, secrecy. Let not the left hand know what the right hand is doing.
Yeah. Sounds great and totally, manageable and not at all ridiculous. Anyways, what did you say about my duties?
This package came with the news of your arrival. You are to take it to Caius Cosades in the town of Balmora. Go to the South Wall Corner Club and ask for Caius Cosades. They'll know where to find him. Serve him as you would serve the Emperor himself. I also have a letter for you and a dispersal to your name.
Oh. Alright. What can you tell me about this town of Balmora?
Balmora is north of Seda Neen. The road passes Pelagiad Village and Fort Pelagiad, crosses a deep ravine, passes Fort Moonmoth, then turns west across the Odai River and into Balmora. The South Wall Corner Club is in southeast Balmora on the east side of the river. For more detailed directions, talk to Elone the scout at Auril's Trade House here in Seda Neen. But take my advice. You're new here. Take the Silt Strider to Balmora. Fast, cheap, safe. Cross the bridge and head east. Can't miss it.
Alright. You mentioned this, Silt Strider. What is that?
Silt Striders carry passengers and cargo between settlements on Vardenfell. Fares depend on distance to be traveled. Silt Striders are giant insects. A compartment for passengers and cargo is hollowed from the creature's shell. The driver directs the beast by directly manipulating exposed organs and tissues. Silt Striders travel between Aldrun, Balmora, Saida Neen, Suran, Gnesis, Molag Mar, Margan, and North Landing near Vivek.
Alright. Well, that's probably all I need to ask you about. Goodbye. And what's this package here? What in the world? this is the note attached? This is just gibberish. Well, what's that? Weird. Alright. You're letting me out of here, so I don't care. Alright. Actually need to do just a quick stop and save here. Check on the video, and then we shall return. Alright, and we're back. So, I do have orders to go to Balmora and give him this package, which I will do eventually, but clearly, since they gave me my freedom and a dispersal, it's kind of up to me in my own discretion, I feel like. That's a nice scene. I like those rolling clouds. Alright, one thing I do need to check really quick. Really quick. No, not quit. Ashfall has, okay, 2. Yeah, I think we already did that, so it shouldn't have given us, yep, all the stuff, normal stuff, and we're good to continue. Take these mushrooms. Nothing here I can take. Who's this odd little fellow?
Are you the one that boat dropped off? Odd to see a boat arrive at that time of the day. Hope the Imperials treated you okay. I swear they took my ring.
Your ring?
I swear one of the guards has it. I had it last week before their weekly Let's Shake Down Fargoth ritual. An engraved healing ring, family heirloom of mine. You haven't seen it, have you?
Yes, I did. Here.
You found it! Amazing! Thank you, thank you. You are now my favorite friend. I'll be sure to tell the others, especially my friend Ariel, who runs the trade house here. Go see him. He'll be happy to see you now.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you, sir. So, Mr. Fargoth here and yourself might be wondering, you know, why I would give that back to him, but, like he said, Mr. Ariel and the trade house is gonna be, you know, happy with us now. So, I feel like it'll be worth it to have that, and, I have a feeling we might be seeing the ring again one way or the other. It would be nice to heal with that, considering, items we can, but restoration we cannot. So I can heal with enchanting. I'm not sure if I went over that, but enchanting, alchemy, resting, bandaging, all good to go. Just no restoration magic.
Welcome to Ariel's Trade House. I barter for goods or coin. I also have a small selection of spells for sale. No credit. You want a little advice? That's free. That's all that's free. Would you like to hear about our most popular potions? Our most popular scrolls?
No. And something tells me you're gonna say that a lot to me. But, anyways, we'll see here. I don't really want, so, armor we're really gonna hold off on buying. The only thing that I want to buy immediately is, he does have one, a water skin, or some sort of something that can hold water. And I can drink from, I assume you can drink from a water skin. I guess I've only done it from the bottles. I'm sure you can. We're gonna buy it. Well, he's giving it to us for cost. He really likes us. So I'm gonna go ahead and not change this. We won't be getting any mercantile XP for that. 10 gold, and now you can refill it with water, so 12 gold, I guess. Oh, perfect. So now we've got water, and we are going to go out in search of a way to
What's
find
this about?
and make firewood here. Make a weapon. We should look around town in here more. Don't really want to. I like to have some vegetation still showing. I Didn't know that wood could spawn, I guess, that close. Maybe it's just random. Just want to take a look around town here, see if I can find any more. It's actually very valuable to us at this point. But I'm not seeing much. Hello. A lot of people. Head towards, ooh, what is this? Flint. Very nice. Flint and wood. And somewhere around here we should be able to find stone. Oh no, I think I see an enemy. We'll have to stay away. We need to craft some sort of weapon before we go any further, because I don't like running to the guards. That feels like cheating. We'll want to at least have a little knife made up. We're just gonna go the long way around.
What's this about?
Oh, excuse me. Is there anything over here? Anything hiding? I also could just buy some sort of an axe and chop some wood, but feels like cheating. Not everything in the Let's Play am I going to be doing in an Iron Man fashion, but I feel like for the beginning, it's, ooh, another one. Stone. It's par for the course in hardcore, and definitely for a first video or two, to be super grindy, and in an almost state of, can we even survive? Because now I'm wondering, how are we going to get food without, we need to get, I think we'll be able to, with all these, we'll be able to make a knife, for sure. And then with that, I think we can make an axe. And there, once we have an axe, that will be set. But I also don't really want to craft out in the middle of the wilderness. That doesn't feel real. Oh, yes, that is such a find. I'm glad we went this way. 2 firewood. It's mushrooms, too. Adamasartis. Or something like that. Don't want to be going in there right now. We would get our character taken from us too early if we did that. Hopefully young Kain will live to see another year at least, but who knows. We have to play the cards as they lie. We got some stuff over here. Just couldn't find it. Got any more wood or anything over here? No. Okay, so we're gonna head back to a comfortable spot. But I feel like we'll just do it right here. This would be an acceptable spot to craft. I feel like the guards aren't gonna, you know, they don't pester us for loitering, and I don't want to do it in the shop because they probably wouldn't like me crafting and bits and bobs in there. Anyways, nice. So we can get a knife. Does that mean? Oh, right. With that knife, we need to do something, and then we can make. Okay. So now we need to be outside in the wilderness again to harvest anything. right now, though we do have a, we have a knife on us, so, with our Mr. Rat, what the hell are you doing there? That's funny, that actually makes me nervous, seeing a rat. It's a mighty rat. It's okay, we have a weapon now, we should be fine. If I had to use nothing, we would be screwed, because I don't want to run back to the guards, but with a knife, we'd be able to. Even a flint one at that. Alright. So this is vegetation. I'm missing. There we go. We got a lot. We got 12 in fact. And now I want to make... We're going to need rope for 2 things, but an axe would be better than this for attacking. So we're definitely going to do that. Oh, I already ruined it by crafting in the middle. Okay. Well, we'll try not to do that often. I just spent 10 minutes in the wilderness while the rat was near me and hoped for the best. I guess we were fine. Some pods and stuff. Where's this tower? Note from Valius. Gorvis Fool's Tower. This area is off limits until further notice. Entering without authorization is considered a crime and will be punishable according to Imperial law. Valis, Knight Bachelor of the Imperial Legion. Well, we can't be going in there then. We definitely don't. Oh, that's not. Definitely don't. Why is it off limits? Who knows? Steal some of nature's bounty. And be on my way. Alright. Do I have... That's it. So now we've got an axe. And with our skill, and the stuff we're able to make early, that's the best that we would be able to do from a weapon standpoint at this point, as far as crafting ourselves. Level 40, so not the best, like I said, 1 to 7, yeah, on your chops. Just don't thrust, because it'll do almost nothing. These are okay, so you can slash. That is a good point. I do have, I haven't really went over that. 0 on the difficulty slider, nothing in there, and then always use best attack off. That's how we roll in this house. It feels most vanilla that way. Sorry if you don't like that, but you're not the one doing the arrow keys or whatever. So I just feel like it's a cool mechanic for me to have to focus on which one is the best. Like obviously a chop. So not moving is the key. Or is it backwards I can do? No, that's still a thrust. And so is forward. Not moving, and at least when I start the attack, not moving. Yep. Anyways, now that we're just, you know, rampaging orcs, swinging an axe in the middle of nowhere, let's go ahead and get ourselves comfortable here. Acquaint ourselves with the local, I was gonna say fauna, but that is not correct. Try a little bit of sneaking, maybe? Well, this is a good chance. Actually, now that I think about it, this is a good chance to test out our hand-to-hand, which is probably going to be the first couple of episodes are going to be that kind of grinding, so it's going to be a lot of punching and missing and getting hurt. And then, oh yeah, so we're going to have to heal, which means I probably need a bed, which means I should probably do that before I start swinging around on a thing. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and cover that up. A straw bed. We need 10 straw and a rope and some wood. Oof. Oops, okay, so that crafted. We did it again. Oh well. Let's at least go back into town to do some of this. So click to craft. I guess I can start it with anything, yeah. Did I make a hammer yet? For repairing our stuff, we'll take some time and do that. And now we want to work towards a bed, or being able to place a bed. And that took our rope away, okay, so we're going to have to craft another, and then how do you do straw? Oh, I think it's, fiber? Yeah. Okay, so 1, we got 5, and we need, how many do we need? Okay, so we need 3 more, I think. 3 more fiber. Definitely want to be able to heal, since we are going to be waiting on... Oh gosh! Okay, well, time to test out. I should have known, considering I was literally just over here. But I had the idea of, let's run up the hill and go to the spot, and yeah. Well, at least we didn't lose that much health. Like I said, axe, pretty good. So he should be skinnable now, yep, with our knife, and that didn't take much. And we got a piece of rat meat. Oh, yeah. Delicious. Raw rat meat. Definitely want to cook it before we even think about eating it. And we'll probably have to find a campfire kit for that, I believe. Which might mean venturing out beyond Satan more earlier than I really want to. Anyways, we were on our way to get some... Oh, hello. Get some vegetation. Let's go right here. This is a good spot. This is probably this shade right over here. That's where our bed will go. Right around here. We'll take out this book. Ah, we are leveling survival. I didn't really look around. Is there anybody gonna sneak up on me? Oh, there's a mud crab. Some jellyfish thing. Alright. Oh, I did it again. I guess we're just gonna have to drop that, because I clearly can't abide by that. But if time passed and we did get attacked, like I believe if you put down a bed and then you rest to get health back, and then like you spawn enemies, they'll just pretty much spawn on top of you, which is fine. That is our risk, you know, of sleeping out in the wilderness. So part of the thrill of the fun, I guess, or something. Let's go ahead and just break that rule. That sounds pretty good. Okay, so now we need wood. I need wood. Luckily we have an axe, though, which means I don't really have to go around and look scavenging for firewood. I'm a little tongue-tied sometimes, so hello. There's something over there by that log. Oh, speaking of firewood. Grab that. And let's sneak over here. I don't see anything. Oh, I see a forager and a scrib over there. I think we're okay. Some mushrooms. Oh, 21 gold, not bad. And a corpse. That's great. I see a forager over there. Alright, we are getting wood. What about this dead tree? We can chop this down for sure. I am thirsty. I didn't see that message pop up. That's one of the things I really like about message loggers. Or whatever it's called. Something like that. 12 survival. Let's go. We're so OP. Yoink. Alright, so how much wood did we get out of that? 14. Jeez. Alright, we're good to place a bed, I think. And I want this spot right here. Might be kind of dangerous because it's kind of far away, but if we have a bed, we're healing, and we'd be at full health, and then presumably we'd be fighting. Hopefully not running to town, but as a last choice. What am I trying to say? You know what I mean. Very last option. Alright, let's place it. That's not what it is. Craft it. I think this spot sounds about right. And really, the shadow, oh, that's actually pretty good, but there was a thing that spawned there. You know, we'll just go kind of in the middle of the road like this. Who cares? It's in the middle of the wilderness. I don't think I'll get arrested by Imperials camping. Alright, you know what? Let's go ahead and just take a little lie down. That's something that I like that. I think it's Ashfall that adds the beds that lets you do is actually kind of like sit down on something. Since the benches and most of that stuff doesn't really work. And I think after, you know, being a prisoner, and who knows what kind of conditions we were in the Imperial City, and then finally coming here and kind of being released and finding a little bit of a way, having minimal money, not even 100 gold, barely to his name. But this point of being able to kind of scrounge together some stuff and lie on a bed is kind of a good moment for him. Relaxing as it can be. Still knowing we have much to do and there could even be, you know, something behind him. But for the moment, a little bit of rest is good. And I believe that's where we're going to leave off for the first episode here. If you've liked this content, please like and comment, subscribe for more. Otherwise, we will see you guys in the next Morrowind Hardcore episode.